Do not save your strength for a future that may never come. Do not hoard your flame for a battle yet unseen. The fire within you is not meant to be preserved. It is meant to consume, to devour, to scorch everything in its path until nothing remains but ash. This world was never meant to endure your fire. It was meant to bow before it, to crumble under its heat. You are not made to flicker quietly in the night. You are made to burn with a fury that terrifies those who dare stand too close. To burn is not an act of destruction. It is the ultimate act of creation. The weak hold back, afraid to expend all that they have, fearful of the moment when their fire dies out, but you know the truth. Your fire is eternal, as long as you continue to feed it with every ounce of your being. Burn through every obstacle, every failure, until there is nothing left to stop you. Hold nothing back, for those who save themselves for later are only postponing their own demise. Every moment wasted, every spark left unused, is a moment stolen from the blaze you were meant to become. The world fears those who burn without restraint because it cannot understand the force of one who has given everything to the fire. Others will hesitate, will falter, but you will burn without mercy, without fear, until nothing remains but your will made manifest. The world will try to extinguish you, but it's not strong enough to quench what burns from within. Let the flames rise, let them consume you until the line between you and the fire itself disappears. In the end, you will not simply control the fire, you will become the fire. Burning is not a choice. It is your destiny. There is no room for hesitation, no place for the timid in this path. You must give yourself fully to the flame, knowing that once it begins, there is no turning back. The weak will beg you to stop, will tell you to save yourself for another day. But there is no saving, there is no retreat. There is only this moment, this fire, this relentless push toward everything you desire. Hold nothing in reserve, for the flame that is hoarded fades, while the flame that is unleashed consumes the world. Burn your fire until there is nothing left, because in that destruction you will find creation. Each moment of hesitation is fuel wasted. Each second you do not give everything is a step away from the power that lies within you. The fire within you was never meant to be tamed. It was meant to rage, to bring everything to its knees. Do not stop until the world itself bends to your heat, until the ashes of what was once thought impossible lie at your feet. The fire that burns halfway burns nothing at all. Only the fire that gives everything becomes eternal. This fire is not just for your enemies. It is for yourself. Burn away the doubts, the fears, the limitations that have been placed upon you. In the heat of your own flame, every weakness will be scorched. Every chain that binds you will melt. Let the fire take what no longer serves you. Let it purify you until there is nothing left but pure, unbreakable will. There is nothing more dangerous than one who has given everything to their own fire, who has held nothing back, saved nothing for the comfort of the weak. You are not here to smolder in the dark. You are here to set the world ablaze. You think there is a limit, a moment where the fire must burn out, but there is no end to the fire that feeds on itself. Burn until you feel nothing, until the pain of giving everything becomes fuel for something greater. Those who fear the fire will never understand the strength that comes from embracing it fully. They will look upon the ashes and wonder how you survived, how you thrived, but you will know you gave everything. There is no victory in holding back, no triumph in restraint. There is only the fire that burns until nothing remains. From that nothing, you rise, stronger than before. Your fire is your power, your identity, and it is only as strong as your willingness to let it consume everything in its path. Do not burn halfway, do not flicker in the face of fear. Burn until the very essence of who you are is forged in the heat of your own will. Those who stand in your way will fall. Those who challenge your flame will be reduced to nothing. There is no stopping what burns with the force of everything you are. So burn. Burn until there is nothing left but ash, until the world is forced to recognize the power that lies in your fire. Burn until your name is whispered in fear, until the very ground beneath you trembles. Hold nothing back. This is not a game for the cautious. It is a war for the relentless. And you are the fire that will bring everything to its knees. When people lose the curiosity about themselves, it is a sign of their impending demise. To lack curiosity is to invite death, to let the fire within flicker and fade into nothingness. It is the first step toward surrender, the moment when they allow the world to define their limits. Those who cease to question themselves, who no longer hunger to know what lies in the deepest, darkest parts of their soul, are the ones who have already been extinguished. They are the walking dead, hollow shells moving through life with no fire left to burn. They are safe, predictable, and weak. Curiosity is the flame that fuels the fire within. It is the relentless urge to know yourself, to understand the raw potential that lies beneath the surface. Without it, you are stagnant, trapped in the shallow waters of mediocrity, unable to dive into the depths of what you could be. Those who lack curiosity have already accepted their place in the world, already surrendered to the idea that there is nothing left to discover, nothing left to ignite within. But you burn because you are never satisfied, because you are always searching, always pushing to find what more can be consumed by your fire. When people lose that hunger to understand themselves, they are lost. The fire that once flickered within has been snuffed out, replaced by complacency and comfort. They no longer ask the vital question, what else is there inside me? What more can I become? And without that question, without that insatiable need to discover the limits of their strength, they fall. Their flame dies because they have stopped feeding it with curiosity, with the drive to uncover every hidden corner of their mind and soul. They let their fire go cold because they are too afraid to look into the dark and find what burns there. Curiosity is the fuel that keeps your fire alive, that prevents it from ever being extinguished. When you burn your fire until there is nothing left, it is not just a physical act. It is the burning of every question, every uncertainty about who you are and what you're capable of. To burn completely is to leave no stone unturned, no darkness unexplored. Those who are curious about themselves never stop searching, never stop discovering the deeper power that lies beneath their own skin. They burn until they are nothing but their purest, most dangerous form. The lack of curiosity is the death of ambition, the death of the soul's fire. Those who are content with who they are, who stop searching for more, are already dead. They have given up on the most important journey, the journey within. Without curiosity, there is no fire, no heat, no relentless drive to push beyond what the world expects. They are embers in the dark, waiting for the final gust of wind to snuff them out. But you burn with an endless flame because you never stop asking, never stop seeking to know yourself. And that is why your fire will never die. To be curious about oneself is to constantly feed the fire, to throw every question, every fear into the blaze and watch it burn away. Without this self-exploration, there can be no growth, no evolution. The fire fades because it's no longer fueled by the hunger to know, to understand, to conquer every shadow within. When people stop being curious about who they are, when they stop searching for the limits of their power, they fall into darkness. They lose their flame because they no longer desire to burn. But you burn because you refuse to settle, refuse to stop digging into the depths of your soul to find what more can be brought to the surface. The fire that consumes you is fueled by your endless curiosity. by your refusal to let yourself become something ordinary, something safe. You seek out the darkest parts of yourself because you know that it is in that darkness where the greatest strength lies. Every question you ask of yourself feeds the flame, stokes it until it roars higher, consuming more of what you once were, leaving only the most powerful parts of you standing in the fire's light. Those who lack curiosity are blind to their own potential. They are content with the shallow, with the surface, never daring to dig deeper into the core of their being. But you know that the fire must burn through everything, every weakness, every doubt, every layer that keeps you from your truest form. To stop asking, to stop searching within yourself, is to allow the flame to go out. It is to extinguish the very thing that makes you powerful, that sets you apart from the walking dead who live without purpose, without heat, without fire. Curiosity is not just a question. It is the spark that sets the world ablaze. Those who lack it are doomed to remain small, to live their lives in the shadows, while those who burn with curiosity about themselves rise above. They burn until nothing is left, until every part of them has been consumed and reforged in the fire of self-discovery. The pursuit of knowledge is not a gentle stroll through the gardens of the mind. It is a relentless hunt, a savage voyage through uncharted realms, where only the brave and the reckless dare tread. Those who seek to understand the world, both mental and material, must cast aside the soft comforts of ignorance and plunge headlong into the abyss of the unknown. It is not a dull, spiritless affair as the weak would have you believe. It is a holiday for the fierce, a playground for those whose curiosity burns hotter than the sun, whose hunger for understanding consumes everything in its path. The investigation of the world is not the task of those who seek safety. It is the domain of those who are willing to risk everything, to lose themselves in the depths of what lies beyond the surface. To pursue knowledge is to challenge the very fabric of reality, to tear it apart and rebuild it in the image of your own understanding. It is an adventure for the bold, for the imaginative souls who are not satisfied with the lies the world feeds them. They seek the forbidden, the hidden, the dark corners of the mind where real power lies buried beneath layers of fear and ignorance. To burn your fire until there is nothing left means to embrace this pursuit of knowledge with reckless abandon, to dive into the mental and material worlds with no regard for the limits imposed by others. It is not enough to simply observe the world. You must dominate it, unravel it, bend it to your will. Those who treat knowledge as a passive endeavor are the ones who live in the shadows, while those who embrace the pursuit with violent determination are the ones who wield power. Every piece of knowledge is a weapon, every discovery another flame added to your fire. The weak approach knowledge timidly, afraid of what they might find, afraid of what might change. But those who seek power, those who burn with the fire of curiosity, are not afraid to destroy their old beliefs, their old selves in the process. The pursuit of knowledge is not a calm journey. It is a war, a battle of the mind, where every discovery challenges the foundations of who you are. Only those who are willing to burn everything, to leave nothing behind, will uncover the deepest truths, the ones that grant real power. The world itself is an illusion, a construct, built by those too afraid to look beyond its fragile walls. The pursuit of natural knowledge is the act of tearing those walls down brick by brick until the raw chaos of existence is laid bare before you. It is not for the faint of heart, it is for the ruthless, for those who understand that to learn, to truly learn, is to destroy everything that was once thought to be true. It is to burn away the lies, to incinerate the illusions, until nothing remains but the cold, hard essence of reality. And in that moment, when the fire is burned through it all, you will see the world for what it truly is, a playground for those brave enough to seize it. The investigation of the mind is no less savage. To explore the depths of your own consciousness, to pull apart the threads of thought and identity, is a journey fraught with peril. But it is a necessary voyage for those who seek to know themselves, to master their own mind, to wield it like a weapon. The mind is a labyrinth of shadows, and only those who burn with the need to understand its every twist and turn will emerge on the other side. The pursuit of mental knowledge is a firestorm, one that will either leave you stronger or consume you entirely. To pursue knowledge in this world means to embrace chaos, to accept that the pursuit itself will burn through you until there is nothing left but the raw essence of who you are. It is not a path for those who seek comfort or safety. It is a path for those who are willing to sacrifice everything in the name of discovery. The weak play with knowledge, dabbling in its shallows, while those who burn with real fire dive into its depths, tearing apart the mysteries of the universe with their bare hands. Those who fear the pursuit of knowledge will never understand its power. They will never know the thrill of discovery, the ecstasy of unraveling the world's darkest secrets. They will never understand the fire that burns within the mind of those who seek more, who refuse to be content with the scraps of understanding that others accept. To pursue knowledge is to challenge the gods themselves, to reach into the unknown and pull back the very fabric of existence. It is not a passive act. It is a violent rebellion against ignorance, a fire that burns until there is nothing left but truth. The ultimate aim of the ego is not to see something, but to be something. To simply see is to remain a spectator in a world where the powerful do not observe, they conquer. The ego craves more than just understanding. It desires dominance, to become the very force it seeks to comprehend. It is not enough to witness the world. The ego demands that you shape it, bend it, make it a reflection of your will. To see is passive, but to be is to take hold of your destiny and carve your place into the fabric of existence. The weak think that knowledge is enough, that to see the world clearly is an achievement. But the ego is never satisfied with such a hollow victory. The fire within you does not burn simply to illuminate the shadows. It burns to consume, to transform, to make you the embodiment of all you have learned. To be something is the goal, to become the flame itself rather than merely bask in its light. Burn your fire until there is nothing left, because it is in that burning where the ego finds its true form. It is not in the accumulation of knowledge that power lies, but in the transformation that comes from devouring that knowledge, from making it a part of who you are. The ego demands not just to understand, but to embody the very essence of power, to fuse with it until you are inseparable from the force you seek. The world does not belong to those who watch. It belongs to those who burn, to those who become the fire that consumes everything in its path. To be something is the ultimate act of ego, the final expression of self-reliance. The ego does not tolerate being a spectator in its own life. It seeks total dominion, not over others, but over the self, over the boundaries that the weak impose upon it. Those who aim only to see live as shadows, always at the mercy of the world around them. But those who aim to be something carve their will into the very essence of reality. The ego is not content with knowledge. It demands action, transformation, and the destruction of everything that keeps it from becoming the force it was meant to be.